Following on from my last video where I modified the couplings on some maroon and cream coaches, I decided to have a go at these teak coaches, Hornby teak coaches, because the gap was a bit excessive. So as you can see, the gap has closed right up, and what I'll do, I'll move it forwards. Now it's probably very hard to see, but you can just see the wire hook that I've made. So what I shall do is disconnect the last one, and then hopefully I can show what I've done. Let's move this one back a touch. Take it off there. There we go. Bring it up onto the castle. Now what I've done is completely reversible. I've taken off the original hook and made my own wire hook from 0.8mm MIG wire, MIG welding wire. I've also added a couple of weights underneath to stabilize the wagon, as you can see there. So as you can see, nothing's been cut or damaged. I could put the original hooks back on should I wish to do so, but this is working very, very well indeed. As you can see, it's more close coupled than the original system. Okay, so now we'll reconnect this and start again. Hello everyone, welcome to Models and Trains. Following on from these modifications to the crimson and cream coaches, I made a wire hook which connected to the decoupling on the other coach. So it worked very, very well indeed. So I thought I would use a similar system on my teak coaches. So I'll just move that. Let's put that down. So I'll just show you now the coaches in action, being pulled by my Hornby 8F. So as I showed, this is with the reversible hook system. So if you wanted to put the original Hornby hooks on, you can. All I've done is substitute them for some wire hooks. Let's pick the speed up. So I'm quite happy now with the spacing between the coaches. Much better than before. Let's pick the speed up a touch. There we go. Yeah, so a vast improvement. So the next coaches I'm going to be looking at are my Bachmann Southern coaches in the green livery, and see if I can modify those, because there's a huge gap between the coaches on the Bachmann ones. There we go. That's a big improvement. And the added weight under the bogies really helps keep them stable. Some of these coaches can be very light. So we slow it right down. Gentle stop. There we go. So now on to the Bachmann Southern coaches. Okay, as we can see, there's rather a large gap between these Southern Bachmann coaches. So I'm going to modify the couplings and make them close coupled. So this is a before, and obviously I'll do an after. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, to start the process of shortening the couplings, I've removed the spring so that this is totally free now to move. And this was, I'll just try and show you, that would have been the original position. Now I'm going to move it back to there and glue it on, and that will shorten the coupling. So let's have a look at that when it's glued. So here's the coupling, moved further back, glued in position, and ready for attaching to the coach. So they've all been modified now, every one of them. So that should close the gap between the coaches considerably. So let's attach this one, and then we'll have another look at the distances between the coaches. There's nothing like a custard slice made with Dillington's custard, a cup of tea while I'm doing my modelling. Never mind about high sugar, I'll keep taking the tablets. I love my custard slices. There we go. So there we go. There's the two of the rake connected, and as you can see, a considerable change in the distance between the coaches. So the next step will be upon the layout. So here we are upon the layout. Today's logo will be Western Pioneer, and let's see how the space between the coaches is now. For me, that's a big improvement. Looks far more realistic than the huge space there was. So we'll follow it around. I don't know why Hornby and Bachmann and Lima made these couplings so ridiculously big with such a gap between them. Anyway, I think I've solved the problem now. Yeah, far better. There's a lot of trial and error involved in these modifications. Sometimes they work, sometimes you have to adjust them, sometimes they don't work at all. They get derailments. So with this one, it was much easier to convert this one with the spring type couplings than the big D type. Let's bring it to a stop. We'll catch it there. There we are. So look at that. Hardly any gap at all between them. That's perfect. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so there we go. Thanks for watching. Bye now.